What happens if you try MMA training for 1 year? So, you decided to become a lethal weapon. Step 1. Show up to the MMA gym looking like you're lost on your way to a luau. Month 1 is all about the fundamentals. Specifically, the fundamental law of gravity. You're getting tapped out by middle schoolers. It's a humbling experience, mostly for your ego. Your coach has questions, mostly regarding your basic understanding of where your hands are. By the end of the first month, you've mastered the shrimp move, mostly because you're curled up in a ball crying. Month 3. You've watched 400 hours of YouTube tutorials. You're basically a black belt in watching. The YouTube technique doesn't account for having zero muscle to hold your bones together. Even the local gardening club is starting to look like a dangerous gang of assassins to you. You're acting like a vet, but your skull has more dents than a used bumper. The cage is your destiny. Falling into it face first is your reality. Month 5. If you can't fight, at least you can spend 3 months' rent on gear that makes you look like a pro. The mouthguard is supposed to protect your teeth. It mainly just makes you drool on your own sternum. You're a whirlwind of bone and expensive spandex, truly terrifying to the oxygen around you. Turns out, the gear doesn't come with a don't get hits button. Who knew? That's $80 of premium fiber down the drain. Just like your dignity. The gear correction didn't work. You're still just a collection of sticks in a fancy wrapper. Month 7. Your gear is beat up and so are your joints, mostly because they're just calcium and hope. Your body has started making a noise like a wind chime and a hurricane every time you move. Wait, was that a compliment? Coach didn't look like he wanted to quit his job for once. Maintenance is getting expensive. You're basically a 1998 Honda Civic in skeleton form. You finally found your power. Unfortunately, you also found the limits of your connective tissue. Month 10. The big night. You're either leaving with a win or in a dustpan. You did it. One clean shot. You're the king of the world, or at least the king of oops. Time to celebrate like you just won 3 belts and a lifetime supply of milk. And just like that, the universe reminds you exactly who you are. A klutz with no skin. It wasn't your lack of balance. It was definitely a road dust particle. Month 12. You are a shell of your former self. Literally, you're just a shell. You're looking at hobbies that don't involve being punched in the face by people named The Crusher. It's over. You're retiring with a record of 147 and a lot of medical bills for superglue. Maybe I should have just tried bowling or knitting. Yeah, knitting is much safer for a guy with no skin.